You carrying any drugs on you right now?
No, I'm not.
What's that around your neck and waist?
These are medicine bags. Nothing illegal. It's just where we keep our prayers, our personal prayers.
Many of our perceptions of American Indians have been formulated through Hollywood images and, sadly, through an uninformed educational experience. Little information has been available regarding New Jersey's American Indian communities. Common misconceptions include many stereotypes. We find the vanishing race, the noble savage warrior, the stoic Indian, the bloodthirsty savage, and the drunken Indian.
For females, we find the offensive word squaw. Throughout history, the Indian woman was often physically or sexually assaulted by non-native men. During this exploitation, the Indian word squaw was used to identify the Indian female genitalia. Regrettably, use of the word spread. It is commonly applied to all American Indian women today, for its true meaning has been lost to non-natives. Justly so, it remains the single most offensive word to women in the Native community. We also hear of the Indian princess, though that term was never applicable to North American tribal culture.
Physical stereotypes include misconceptions that all American Indians look like the 1940s images presented in popular Hollywood westerns. Finally, we see the mystical Indian, who lives in harmony with nature and possesses special powers. Today, we are still confronted with negative images of American Indians that are caricatured and used widely as mascots and logos. The non-native population should be aware that American Indians see this as a capitalization and exploitation of American Indian culture.
We live in two worlds, but we all belong to the story of our people. We gather strength from our tribe. Our lands are our book of memories. We are mentally, physically, and spiritually connected to our Aboriginal homelands. Here is where we are known. Even the wind carries our names. We walk upon the land where our ancestors once walked. We are at one. We are home. Our culture is our identity.
Law enforcement needs accurate, contemporary information to enable officers to have positive interactions with New Jersey's American Indian populations. It is important that law enforcement officials understand the social, religious, and political lifestyle differences that exist when interacting with the Native community. This will ultimately facilitate better relationships with New Jersey's American Indians.
Where are New Jersey's American Indians? In the north is the Ramapo Lenape Nation, with over 4,000 enrolled members that straddle the New Jersey and New York borders. These tribal members continue to inhabit their ancestral homelands, which include Bergen, Passaic, Essex, and Hudson counties in New Jersey, and Rockland and Orange counties in New York. Their tribal center and administrative offices are located in Mahwah, New Jersey, with a satellite service center in Paterson and 2 additional offices in New York State.
The Powhatan Lenape have their tribal center, museum, and festival grounds located within the Rancocas State Park in Burlington County. The Powhatan tribal members reside in both Burlington and Camden counties.
The Nanticoke Lenni Lenape have over 3,000 enrolled members, of which 80% inhabit Cumberland County, with additional members living in Gloucester County. Their main tribal center and administrative offices are located in Bridgeton, with a rural community service center located in Fairton, Cumberland County.
Both the Ramapo Lenape and the Nanticoke Lenni Lenape have again received the federal designation as American Indian Statistical Areas. The Intertribal Association, located in central New Jersey, represents American Indians who live in New Jersey but whose backgrounds represent tribes in other states that are federally or state recognized.
And the Sand Hill Band of Lenape Cherokee of Monmouth County continue to reside in their ancestral lands in the Sand Hills of Neptune, with additional family members living in nearby Asbury Park and Tinton Falls.
There is a false perception that the majority of American Indians live on reservations. In fact, many citizens of American Indian ancestry are part of contemporary life and work as professionals in varied careers. Many American Indian families have survived by hiding in plain sight while being racially misidentified by the larger population. There are many American Indian families and whole communities which have survived by remaining discreet about their identity. They blend into the social and racial backdrop of the majority population around them, yet privately maintain their tribal heritage and cultural ties.
Most Americans are unaware that any American Indian identified in public records was not legally considered a human being until an 1879 U.S. District Court ruling in the case of Standing Bear versus Crook, which declared them persons within the meaning of the law. Or they are unaware that American Indians were not considered United States citizens until the 1924 Indian Citizenship Act, or that American Indians did not enjoy the freedom to openly practice any traditional tribal spiritual ceremonies until the passing of the American Indian Religious Freedom Act by the United States Congress in 1978. This history has made American Indians zealous over protecting their customs and exercising their indigenous practices. It has often left them suspicious of the intentions of non-tribal authority figures.
Afternoon, sir. I'm Officer Bertolini, Bridgeton Police Department. Reason I'm stopping you, were going 40 and a 25 back on Laurel Street. May I see your license, insurance, registration, please?
When stopping one of New Jersey's American Indians for a traffic violation, a tribal member may offer a tribal identification card given to them by their tribal authority as additional identification. However, like any citizen, if engaged in a regulated activity, the proper license and/or certifications must be in possession as required by law. Additionally, an officer might then see what he or she may presume to be weapons, which could be perceived as a potential threat, or illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia.
All right, sir. I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle. Just keep your hands in plain view where I can see them. Step to the back of the vehicle, please. What's that odor coming from inside your vehicle?
It's sage.
Sage?
Yeah, we use it for ceremonies, for cleansing.
Many American Indians use sage, sweetgrass, cedar, and tobacco. None of these items are illegal. American Indians consider these items to be sacred and may smoke and/or burn them for spiritual and religious purposes. To the average person, the scent of sage and cedar can easily be mistaken for marijuana. In truth, none of these items create a drug-induced effect.
You carrying any drugs on you right now?
No, no, sir.
What's that around your neck and waist?
These are medicine bags. Nothing illegal. It's just where we keep our prayers, our personal prayers.
Okay, do you mind if I take a look inside?
I would prefer if you didn't, but I can show you if you like.
Okay.
Many American Indians carry medicine bags on their person. It is usually a small leather pouch, turtle shell, or some other natural material which contains various personal and spiritual items. Law enforcement officers should be aware that medicine bags are considered of great personal spiritual significance. Touching a medicine bag can be considered an affront. If it becomes necessary to conduct a search, calmly and politely indicate that you need to check the bag or other objects. Handle them carefully and in a respectful manner to avoid being culturally offensive and sparking an unwanted escalation of tensions. It is not unusual for items such as spears, knives, war clubs, bows, and arrows to be used for cultural educational seminars or for spiritual ceremonies. Most knives or ceremonial weapons carried by American Indians are not prohibited weapons under New Jersey law.
Officer, those are sacred items. If you could be gentle with them, I would appreciate it.
By simple physical appearance, how can you identify who is American Indian? The point is, you can't. Despite many preconceived images, American Indians vary greatly in their physical attributes. It is important that law enforcement officers initially accept an American Indian's self-identification.
How are you doing, sir? Officer Zito Mawa, please. We received a noise complaint regarding the loud music in the area.
Okay, so right here I'll go get my chief.
Okay.
Showing appropriate respect for tribal tradition can go a long way to gaining the cooperation of community members. It is important to note that many tribal ceremonies and social gatherings are closed to the public. To have someone come unescorted into an area restricted for spiritual purposes would be considered highly offensive. If there is no apparent emergency, it is important to respect such customs.
Officer, can I offer you a refreshment while waiting for the chief?
No, thank you. I appreciate it, though.
Okay.
Being offered refreshment by an American Indian is a significant act of hospitality.
We received a noise complaint regarding the loud music in the area.
Yeah, well, we're doing some cultural things. Maybe the locals aren't familiar with some of our customs.
Okay, how long is this event supposed to last?
Maybe about an hour or so.
During some tribal functions, special dress known as regalia may include a decorative knife or such items. These should be viewed as ceremonial in nature and are not necessarily a threat. Officers should view the demeanor of the person as the primary indication of intent.
It is also important to use the title of the individual when possible, or at least sir or ma'am, instead of assuming familiarity by calling them by their first name, which could be interpreted as disrespectful. Among other highly regarded sacred items, traditional spiritual leaders of Indian communities may carry ceremonial pipes, rattles, feathers, and special fans. Cultural spiritual leaders will typically be very protective of sacred objects in their care. It is considered offensive to irreverently handle such items. Quite different from the Hollywood stereotype of the tribal warriors dancing to prepare for battle, celebrations may include traditional dancing, drumming, singing, and special ceremonial activities. However, none of these events should be viewed as hostile or potentially dangerous.
Tribal gatherings are celebrations of culture and spirituality. Sometimes gatherings are private, at other times they are open to the public. Informed law enforcement officials can put the public at ease over such things. American Indians are part of the fabric of our state's continuing history. An awareness of the ongoing presence and unique perspectives held by New Jersey's American Indian communities will aid in promoting positive interactions with law enforcement officers.